Have you ever felt like love keeps slipping through your fingers, even when you swear you're doing everything right? It's almost as if the universe is playing some kind of cosmic game, one where you never quite know if you're getting closer to the right person or just repeating another painful cycle. And deep down, you might be wondering if there's something you're missing, something happening behind the scenes that nobody ever told you about. But what if I told you that the universe is always sending signs, subtle, powerful, undeniable signals that your energy is actually aligning with the right person? Not because you're chasing love, but because your frequency is finally matching the connection meant for your soul. And here's the twist. These signs don't look like what most people imagine. In fact, they can appear confusing, uncomfortable, or even wrong at first glance. Today, you're going to discover the 5 energetic signs that the universe aligns only with people who are truly ready for a conscious relationship. The kind of signs that don't just hint at love. They reveal that you're stepping into a whole new vibrational timeline. A timeline where love flows to you naturally, without begging, without forcing, without losing yourself in the process. And once you understand these signs, you won't question the process anymore. You'll trust it. You'll finally feel that inner certainty that the right person is not just out there. They're already moving towards you in the quantum field. Maybe closer than you think. He begins to notice a subtle shift in his energy field, almost like an inner calm settling where anxiety used to live. This isn't forced positivity, but a genuine sense of alignment rising from his subconscious. Even small moments feel different, more aligned, more intentional, more tuned to the universe. This new vibration quietly rewires his emotional system, preparing him for a deeper connection. And although he can't fully explain it yet, he feels something powerful unfolding. As his energy softens, he starts experiencing clarity where confusion once dominated. He no longer feels the need to chase, convince, or control outcomes, because his mindset is shifting toward trust and abundance. He notices himself embracing gratitude for little things, a sign that his frequency is increasing and his heart is opening. This emotional balance becomes a magnet for aligned relationships, and deep inside he senses this is only the beginning of something transformative. He begins choosing thoughts more consciously, gently redirecting his focus from fear to intention. Whenever old doubts arise, he practices affirmations that reinforce confidence and emotional healing, such as, "I am worthy of a love that aligns with my soul." These moments of awareness show that he is reprogramming his reality through consistent vibration. His subconscious responds, releasing resistance and expanding his inner space. It's like the universe is whispering, guiding him toward a new timeline. He starts prioritizing his inner peace, protecting it as if it were a sacred treasure. Instead of reacting impulsively, he now observes his emotions with compassion, a sign of growing emotional intelligence. Meditation becomes easier, visualization becomes more vivid, and his connection to his higher self strengthens naturally. This cultivation of inner harmony changes the quality of his energetic field. And as his vibration rises, something even more profound begins to emerge around him. People respond differently to him. Some are drawn in by his new frequency, while others fade away effortlessly. He no longer forces connections that feel heavy or misaligned, trusting that the universe is clearing space for something better. This natural flow becomes a form of spiritual guidance, helping him recognize what resonates with his soul. Old patterns lose their grip as he chooses alignment over chaos. And this new space becomes fertile ground for the right person, to enter. He finds himself feeling hopeful without attaching to specific outcomes. Instead of obsessing over timing, he trusts divine timing, knowing the universe is orchestrating something beyond his current awareness. His intuition strengthens, nudging him to follow certain impulses, read certain books, or take inspired actions that expand his consciousness. This surrender to the process shifts his emotional frequency to one of openness. And every step he takes brings him closer to a vibrational match. Slowly, he realizes that this inner transformation isn't happening randomly, it's a sign. The universe aligns him energetically long before the person appears physically. His emotional healing, new mindset, and magnetic vibration are all indicators that something is arriving. And even though he can't see it fully yet, there's a deeper sign preparing to reveal itself next. He begins to notice a surprising emotional clarity rising within him, almost as if the fog that once clouded his thoughts suddenly lifts. Situations that used to trigger anxiety now feel easier to navigate, revealing a new level of awareness. This clarity isn't forced. It comes from alignment, from the universe responding to his vibration. He feels a sense of purpose guiding his decisions with more ease, and deep down he knows this shift means something bigger is unfolding. As old emotional patterns come to the surface, he recognizes them instead of running from them. He starts understanding why certain relationships didn't work and how his energy played a role in them. This realization brings healing, not guilt, because he finally sees himself with compassion. With each insight, he dissolves subconscious beliefs that once blocked his manifestation. And as these beliefs release, something within him grows more confident. He begins making decisions that honor his emotional balance, choosing peace over chaos without feeling guilty. When someone drains his energy, he notices it immediately and pulls back with grace. When a situation aligns with his purpose, he feels his intuition light up like a signal. This emotional intelligence becomes a powerful tool for manifestation and alignment, and it helps him trust the universe in a way he never did before. This clarity inspires him to journal, meditate, and visualize with more depth, unlocking subconscious insights that push him toward expansion. He starts asking himself questions that spark transformation, like, what energy am I choosing today? Or does this align with my soul? These practices help him tune into the frequency of the right person long before they appear physically. And with each revelation, his vibration strengthens. He feels himself becoming more magnetic. He also notices that he reacts differently to moments of discomfort. Instead of shutting down, he leans into them with curiosity, understanding that discomfort often signals growth and alignment. This mindset shift opens a door to new possibilities, inviting the universe to guide him with more precision. He sees challenges as part of his spiritual training, not as signs of failure. And this new emotional resilience becomes a powerful indicator that something is aligning. He begins to trust his instincts more deeply, recognizing which people feel safe, which connections feel authentic, and which situations feel divinely guided. This intuitive awareness isn't random, it's a response to his elevated frequency. When he listens to these signals, life feels more harmonious, more intentional, more aligned with his desires. And this inner harmony becomes the bridge to a soul-aligned connection, the kind of connection he's been waiting for. With each day, emotional clarity becomes not just a feeling, but a sign that the universe is preparing him for someone who matches his vibration. He might not see the full picture yet, but This inner shift is only one piece of a larger pattern, and very soon another sign will reveal itself, making the path even clearer. He begins noticing that certain people and situations quietly drift out of his life without effort or conflict. At first, it may feel strange, like sudden distance or unexpected silence, but the energy behind it feels purposeful. The universe often clears space before delivering what aligns with his frequency, even if he doesn't fully understand it yet. These shifts are not punishment, they're protection. And every departure creates room for something more aligned. As he observes these changes, he realizes his vibration is no longer compatible with relationships rooted in fear, scarcity, or emotional imbalance. The more he expands, the more these old connections lose their grip. It becomes easier to let go without resentment, trusting there's divine timing behind every transition. He feels guided, not abandoned, sensing this process as part of his spiritual evolution. And this awareness softens the emotional weight. He starts to understand that the universe communicates through alignment, redirecting anyone who can't match his new frequency. Even opportunities that once seemed exciting may suddenly feel off or heavy. Instead of forcing outcomes, he follows his intuition and chooses what feels lighter, more authentic. This shift in discernment reflects emotional maturity and clarity, and this clarity becomes one of the strongest signs of manifestation in motion. With each release, he feels his energy becoming lighter and more magnetic. Old thought patterns fade, making room for new intentions rooted in self-worth and love. He senses an inner expansion, like his consciousness stretching beyond old limitations. This expansion increases his emotional and spiritual capacity to receive a relationship that resonates with his soul. And in this space, new possibilities begin to emerge. He notices that life begins to flow more smoothly when he doesn't cling to what's leaving. Synchronicities appear, unexpected messages, intuitive nudges, meaningful dreams, all pointing toward a new direction. These signs reinforce his trust in the universe and strengthen his belief in abundance. He starts understanding that every ending holds a hidden blessing, and with every blessing, he becomes more aligned with the connection meant for him. As he releases the old, he becomes more aware of what feels right for his heart. He starts valuing peace, presence, and emotional reciprocity, realizing he no longer wants relationships that drain his spirit. Instead, he seeks connections that nurture growth, clarity, and mutual respect. This refined intention becomes a beacon of magnetic energy, and this magnetism subtly calls in the right person. Eventually, he realizes that these quiet endings are not coincidences, they are energetic confirmations. The universe is pruning his path, removing anything that blocks his alignment with love. And just as the old falls away, a new sign begins to rise. One that reveals something even more powerful is approaching. He begins noticing his intuition becoming sharper, almost like an internal compass, waking up after years of silence. Suddenly, he feels subtle, energetic nudges guiding him towards certain decisions, places, and people. These signals feel gentle but powerful, rooted in trust rather than fear. His inner voice grows clearer, aligning his actions with the universe's flow, and the more he listens, the more aligned his path becomes. This intuitive clarity shows up in everyday moments, small impulses that feel strangely meaningful. He might feel guided to pause, reflect, or take a different route than usual, only to discover it leads to unexpected synchronicities. These coincidences are actually signs of alignment, a conversation between his energy and the quantum field. Each intuitive whisper strengthens his connection with his higher self, and this connection becomes a magnet for aligned love. He also notices that his intuition becomes louder when something isn't right. Certain interactions feel off, heavy, or energetically draining. Instead of pushing through discomfort, he honors the signal and steps back. This emotional intelligence prevents him from repeating old patterns rooted in fear or scarcity. By trusting his instincts, he protects his vibration and maintains his alignment. And this stability prepares him for a soul-aligned connection. As he follows these intuitive insights, he begins experiencing more synchronicities, repeated numbers, unexpected messages, symbolic dreams. Each one feels like a confirmation from the universe. These signs remind him that manifestation is not just mental, but energetic. They reveal that he's moving closer to the frequency of the right person, someone who's also being guided toward him. And he feels a deep sense of gratitude for this unseen support. His intuitive senses become especially strong when he thinks about relationships. He can feel when a connection is expanding or fading, when someone's energy resonates or clashes with his own. This awareness allows him to choose with clarity instead of desperation. He no longer chases love. He attracts it through alignment, purpose, and self-trust. And this shift makes him emotionally magnetic. It's as if his heart is learning a new language. This intuitive strength also encourages him to practice mindfulness and meditation more consistently. These moments of stillness help him tune into emotional guidance, release resistance, and increase self-awareness. Each session deepens his connection to the universe, revealing new layers of insight about his desires. He starts feeling the presence of the right person energetically, even before they appear physically. And this sensation ignites a quiet confidence within him. Soon, he realizes that intuition isn't just a feeling, it's a sign that the universe is aligning him with someone who matches his frequency, someone divinely connected to his path. And just as his intuitive senses sharpen, another sign begins to unfold, one that feels even more undeniable. He starts feeling an unusual calm settling over his love life, the kind of peace that doesn't come from logic but from energetic alignment. It's not that he stops caring, it's that he stops worrying. Instead of questioning when or how love will appear, he trusts the universe's timing with newfound confidence. This inner calm raises his vibration and opens the door to manifestation. And the shift is so profound that it almost surprises him. This peace feels different from the past, when he tried to force reassurance through overthinking or seeking external validation. Now, reassurance comes from within, from a deeper connection to his purpose and intuition. He realizes that this emotional stability is a sign of alignment, not indifference. The universe responds to calm energy with clarity and flow, and this flow carries him closer to the right person. He notices he no longer feels pressure to rush into connections that don't resonate. The old fear of missing out dissolves as he embraces abundance and self-worth. This mindset shift signals that his subconscious is releasing resistance, making space for a relationship rooted in balance and emotional depth. Instead of trying to attract love through desperation, he attracts through authenticity. And this authenticity is magnetic. He begins enjoying the present moment more fully, trusting that love will arrive naturally when the frequency matches. Simple experiences, sunlight, music, meditation, quiet mornings, bring him a sense of gratitude and grounding. This emotional grounding strengthens his connection to the universe, amplifying his intention and clarity. It becomes easier to visualize love without anxiety, and this visualization aligns him with the relationship he desires. This calmness also changes how he handles uncertainty. Instead of spiraling into doubt, he interprets uncertainty as part of divine timing. He understands that the universe often rearranges circumstances behind the scenes before revealing the outcome. This perspective brings emotional freedom and spiritual confidence. He starts feeling guided more than ever, and this guidance keeps pulling him toward an aligned connection. With this new sense of peace, he feels his heart opening in a healthier, more conscious way. He becomes more receptive to signs, synchronicities, and intuitive nudges that mark the path to the right person. The fear of repeating past mistakes dissolves as he elevates his frequency. He trusts his growth, his energy, and his alignment. And this trust acts like a bridge between him and his destined partner. Soon he begins noticing another subtle shift, something deeper, something unmistakable. It's not just calmness. It's a sense of being energetically pulled toward a specific direction. A quiet magnetism that feels impossible to ignore. And this next sign reveals exactly what that pull means. He begins to feel a subtle yet powerful magnetic pull toward a new direction, almost like an unseen force guiding his steps. It's not logical, and it doesn't follow the patterns of his past. It feels undeniably right. This sensation often sparks curiosity, a sense that something meaningful is approaching. He notices his energy shifting toward expansion and possibility, and this quiet pull grows stronger by the day. This magnetic feeling might show up as sudden motivation to change routines, explore new places, or reconnect with forgotten passions. These impulses are not random. They're energetic signals from the universe aligning him with his future. When he follows these intuitive nudges, unexpected synchronicities appear with precision. Each one reinforces that he's being guided, not guessing. And this guidance leads him closer to the person meant for him. He starts feeling drawn to environments, ideas, and experiences that elevate his frequency. Instead of staying stuck in familiar patterns, he gravitates toward what feels purposeful and expansive. This natural redirection reveals his growing emotional and spiritual awareness. He's not escaping his past. He's rising above it. And in this rise, he becomes a vibrational match to someone on the same path of awakening. This magnetic pull often brings subtle emotional shifts to a growing curiosity, a renewed sense of hope, a spark of inspiration that wasn't there before. He begins visualizing love in a healthier, more grounded way, without desperation or fear. These visualizations feel vivid, comforting, almost prophetic. They align with his higher self's desire for connection, harmony, and abundance. And this alignment fuels the manifestation process. He may even start encountering symbolic signs in his environment, paths crossing, sudden messages, mirrored numbers, recurring themes in conversations. These signs aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. Each one reflects the universe orchestrating events behind the scenes, ensuring he moves in sync with the energy of the right person. He feels seen, guided, and supported by something bigger than himself. And this support deepens his trust in the process. As this magnetic force increases, he notices that resistance becomes harder to hold on to. Excuses lose their power. Fear loses its volume. Doubt begins to fade. The pull toward this new timeline becomes stronger than the weight of old patterns. This shift marks a transition from emotional survival to emotional expansion. And in this expansion, love becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Before long, this magnetic feeling starts pointing him towards something even more specific, a sense of recognition, a familiar energy that feels almost like a preview of the connection that's coming. And this next sign reveals exactly what that recognition means. He begins to feel a strange sense of familiarity in places, moments, or even around strangers he's never met. It's not literal recognition. It's energetic, a subtle feeling that something or someone is getting closer. This sensation often appears when his vibration becomes aligned with a destined connection. It feels like a warm pull in the chest, a soft spark of intuition, and the spark grows stronger as his frequency rises. This familiar energy may show up during meditation, dreams, or quiet moments of clarity. He might sense a presence, an emotional warmth, or a feeling of being connected to someone he hasn't met yet. These moments reveal that the universe is already aligning their energies in the quantum field. What he feels is resonance, not imagination. And this resonance deepens the more he embraces gratitude, trust, and intention. Sometimes this recognition appears through synchronicities that mirror the energy of the right person hearing a certain name repeatedly, seeing symbolic animals, or encountering patterns that feel meaningful. These signs act like emotional breadcrumbs, guiding him toward the frequency of the person meant for him. Each synchronicity confirms that the universe responds to his vibration, and this response strengthens his belief in the path unfolding ahead. He might also feel this familiarity when engaging in activities that align with his purpose. Moments of creativity, peace, or expansion often carry a subtle emotional echo, as if the right person shares that same energetic space. It feels like two souls beginning to move in parallel, even before meeting physically. This sense of connection activates hope, clarity, and emotional readiness. And readiness is a powerful form of manifestation. This familiar energy may intensify during periods of personal growth. When he heals, expands, and raises his vibration, he naturally tunes into the frequency of someone who matches that level of consciousness. It's a sign that he's aligning not just with love, but with the soul connection rooted in authenticity and emotional depth. The universe reflects this alignment through emotional cues, and these cues help him trust what he feels. He may even notice a growing sense of comfort when thinking about love, not fear, not desperation, but ease. This ease feels like coming home to himself, and in that inner home, he becomes a magnet for the right person. Familiar energy often appears when both souls are preparing for union, each walking their own path of awakening. And he can feel the universe weaving these paths together. It's subtle, but undeniable. And soon, this energetic recognition transforms into something even more powerful, because after familiar energy comes emotional acceleration. A sign that the universe is not just preparing him for the connection, it's actively moving him toward it. He begins noticing that his emotional growth accelerates in ways he didn't expect. Insights come faster, healing feels smoother, and old habits lose their influence almost overnight. It's as if the universe is speeding up his transformation to match a higher frequency. This rapid expansion isn't forced, it's aligned. And alignment always brings progress that feels both natural and powerful. He starts understanding lessons that once took months or years to process. Patterns that used to frustrate him suddenly become clear, revealing the beliefs that shaped them. This emotional clarity helps him release what no longer resonates with his purpose or desire. He feels a new sense of empowerment rising within him, and this empowerment fuels deeper manifestation. As his emotional intelligence grows, he becomes more intentional with his thoughts, words, and behaviors. Instead of reacting from fear, he responds from clarity and compassion. He notices that his energy feels more grounded, even in situations that used to trigger him. This newfound balance reflects a higher state of consciousness. And consciousness always attracts relationships aligned with authenticity and growth. He begins practicing habits that support his emotional expansion: meditation, gratitude lists, visualization exercises, and affirmations tailored to love and purpose. These practices strengthen his connection to the universe and amplify his vibration. The more he aligns with positivity and intention, the more magnetic his energy becomes. And this magnetism draws him closer to the right person. During this phase, he may also experience emotional upgrades, moments of sudden inspiration, deep gratitude, or unexpected clarity about his future. These emotional waves come from the universe aligning his heart with a higher frequency. They guide him toward choices that reflect self-love and purpose. And with each wave, he feels himself stepping into a new version of his identity. He also realizes that emotional growth is not just about healing the past, but preparing for the future. He starts feeling ready, not anxious, not desperate, but genuinely ready for a conscious relationship. This readiness shows up in his boundaries, his confidence, and his openness. It's a sign that he's becoming a vibrational match to someone who mirrors this emotional expansion. And the universe notices every step. And as this rapid emotional growth accelerates, he begins experiencing something even more intense and meaningful. Synchronicities that connect directly to love. Signs that don't just hint, but practically declare that alignment is already in motion. He begins noticing synchronicities appearing in his daily life with surprising intensity. These aren't the light coincidences he used to brush off. They're precise, repeated, and emotionally charged. Numbers, symbols, names, songs, they appear at the exact moment his intuition is activated. The universe uses these signals to guide him toward alignment, and each synchronicity strengthens his trust in the path. He may repeatedly see angel numbers like 111, 222, or 777, especially when thinking about love or his future. These sequences serve as reminders that his vibration is rising and attracting new experiences. The more he pays attention, the more the signs multiply. It's as if the universe is speaking directly to him, and this conversation deepens his sense of spiritual connection. He also encounters meaningful messages through conversations, movies, or random moments that mirror his thoughts. This mirroring effect reveals energetic resonance between his inner world and the external one. Manifestation begins in the subconscious long before it becomes physical. These reflections confirm he's in alignment with the new reality, and he feels gratitude for each confirmation. He may even dream about love, connection, or symbolic images that carry emotional clarity. Dreams become vivid, intuitive, and filled with spiritual meaning. They feel like glimpses into the quantum field, where his desires are already forming. This dream guidance often arrives when his resistance is lowest, and he wakes up feeling guided rather than confused. These synchronicities often intensify when he's closest to a breakthrough. They push him to trust his frequency, embrace faith, and stay aligned with the flow of the universe. The signs act as emotional checkpoints, reminding him to remain open and receptive. And the more receptive he becomes, the more aligned he feels. It's an energetic dance between him and destiny. Synchronicities also signal divine timing, moments when everything aligns perfectly without force. These sequences show that the universe is weaving together events behind the scenes. And the more he acknowledges these signs, the faster his vibration expands. His subconscious feels supported, seen, and connected. And this emotional connection amplifies his manifestation power. And soon, these synchronicities evolve into something even more powerful, a deep sense of inner knowing, a certainty that love is approaching, even if he can't see it yet. And this next sign becomes a turning point in his journey. He begins experiencing a subtle but profound sense of inner knowing that he can't logically explain. It's not wishful thinking, it's a calm, grounded certainty. He simply feels that something aligned is approaching, and this feeling carries an undeniable truth. This inner knowing comes from emotional coherence, and coherence is a powerful signal of alignment. This knowing shows up in small moments, during meditation, quiet mornings, or sudden waves of intuition. It feels like the universe whispering, "You're closer than you think." This message becomes a comforting, steady presence. It reassures him even on days when nothing seems to be happening. And this reassurance stabilizes his energy. He stops doubting whether he's worthy of love. Instead, he feels connected to his purpose, intuition, and future. This sense of certainty creates emotional openness, releasing tension and fear. He trusts his journey without needing external proof. And this internal trust becomes the foundation for conscious manifestation. This knowing helps him choose alignment over impulsivity. He no longer forces conversations, chases people, or seeks validation. He acts from confidence rather than fear. This shift reveals spiritual maturity and emotional intelligence, and these qualities prepare him for a soulful connection. He may feel moments of excitement, anticipation, or warmth in his chest. These energetic sensations signal that his vibration is matching a higher frequency. It's the universe aligning his emotional field with someone who resonates with his energy. And this alignment creates a sense of peace. Peace becomes the confirmation he once searched for. This inner knowing becomes stronger as he trusts himself more deeply. It guides him toward clarity, purpose, and emotional balance. It becomes a compass pointing toward love without urgency or anxiety. And this compass prepares him for the next sign, one that makes the upcoming connection feel even more real, because soon he begins experiencing emotional previews, subtle glimpses of the relationship the universe is guiding him toward. He begins experiencing emotional previews, soft waves of feelings that don't belong to his current reality yet. These feelings appear out of nowhere. Safety, connection, excitement, peace. They feel like memories from the future, moments his soul has already experienced. These emotional flashes reveal alignment, and they prepare his heart for what's coming. These previews often happen during quiet moments, while listening to music, journaling, or simply sitting in stillness. They feel warm, comforting, and deeply familiar. He senses the presence of someone energetically connected to him. This presence feels safe, emotional, and full of possibility, and it brings reassurance that he's on the right path. He might feel sudden gratitude, love, or emotional clarity without a visible cause. These emotions act as energetic downloads from the universe, preparing him to receive the relationship he is manifesting. This emotional coherence raises his frequency, and this raised frequency becomes magnetic. He may even visualize shared experiences without trying, talking, laughing, traveling, or simply being together. These visualizations feel natural, not forced. They're glimpses of a timeline already forming in the quantum field. His subconscious is aligning with a future reality, and this alignment strengthens his trust. These emotional previews dissolve fear and doubt. They help him release old wounds, making space for love. He feels increasingly receptive, grounded, and emotionally mature. This readiness signals that his vibration matches the energy of someone aligned with his soul, and that match becomes stronger as time passes. These emotional waves also act as guidance. They show him what kind of connection resonates with his highest self. They refine his standards, boundaries, and desires, and they remind him of the kind of love he is meant to experience. This remembrance feels powerful, and it prepares him for the next sign, one he can feel physically, because soon he begins sensing shifts in his environment that reflect the approaching connection. He starts noticing subtle changes in his environment that mirror his emotional evolution. People treat him differently. Opportunities appear unexpectedly, and situations unfold with ease. These shifts aren't random, they're energetic reflections. The universe rearranges his external world to match his new internal frequency, and he feels the effects every day. He may attract new conversations about love, alignment, or spirituality without trying. Friends, co-workers, or even strangers might mention topics he's been thinking about. This synchronicity reveals resonance. His energy speaks before he does, and this resonance shapes the world around him. He might notice new opportunities that align with his purpose, creative projects, new circles, or meaningful invitations. These openings help expand his vibration, making him more receptive to love. Opportunities are messages from the universe, and each message confirms alignment. His environment also becomes more peaceful. Conflicts dissolve, obstacles soften, and life flows with more harmony. This flow reflects his emotional clarity and spiritual connection. The universe mirrors his inner healing, and this mirror shows that he's preparing to receive. He begins recognizing spiritual patterns everywhere, symbols, numbers, intuitive signs. These patterns create a sense of familiarity and comfort. It's as if the universe is guiding him step by step. And this guidance strengthens his belief that love is near. Even small moments feel meaningful. A song, a conversation, a message appearing at the perfect time. These synchronicities reveal an invisible connection forming behind the scenes, and he can feel it bringing him closer to alignment. This alignment becomes undeniable. Before long, the shifts in his environment lead to something deeper, an emotional transition that transforms how he experiences love, and that transition becomes the next sign. He begins to feel his heart opening in a way it hasn't in years, softly, gently, but unmistakably. It's a warm, expanding feeling that replaces fear with curiosity. This openness doesn't come from desperation. It comes from emotional healing. His heart feels ready, not rushed. And readiness is the greatest sign of alignment. He notices he's more receptive to connection, vulnerability, and authenticity. Conversations feel deeper, presence feels richer, and emotional moments feel meaningful again. This shift shows emotional growth and spiritual maturity. He's no longer guarded by old wounds, And this emotional freedom invites aligned love. He becomes more compassionate with others, but especially with himself. He forgives past mistakes, releases old expectations, and embraces his worth. Compassion raises his frequency to the level of love and abundance, and this frequency becomes a magnet for the right person. He feels safe exploring his desires without overthinking. Love no longer feels like a risk, it feels like a possibility. This possibility lights a spark of inspiration within him. This inspiration becomes a sign that his vibration is aligned with a healthier love, and this love feels closer than ever. His heart responds differently to triggers. Instead of shutting down, he stays open, grounded, and self-aware. This emotional resilience reflects deep transformation. The universe aligns him with experiences that match this openness, and this alignment deepens his belief. He feels grateful more often, appreciating the journey rather than clinging to the outcome. Gratitude amplifies manifestation, accelerating the creation of aligned relationships. With each moment of gratitude, his frequency strengthens. And this strength prepares him for the next sign. Because soon, he begins noticing the energetic presence of someone specific entering his life. He begins sensing the presence of someone aligned entering his energetic field. This feeling is subtle but powerful, almost like the emotional vibration of another soul drawing near. It doesn't feel imagined. It feels intuitive. This presence arrives before the person appears physically, and he recognizes it instantly. He may feel moments of excitement, warmth, or anticipation without knowing why. These sensations feel like energetic communication. The universe aligns souls energetically before they cross paths physically. And this alignment creates a sense of familiarity and comfort. He notices emotional patterns shifting, less loneliness, more hope, deeper intuition. These emotional shifts reflect a merging of energies across the quantum field. Two vibrations aligning in the unseen. And this unseen alignment creates synchronicities in the physical world. He might sense that someone is thinking about him or energetically connected to him. These sensations are subtle, like emotional echoes. They signal resonance between two hearts preparing for connection. This resonance feels peaceful, steady, and meaningful, and it grows stronger with each passing day. You may notice that certain places, songs, or moments feel charged with energy. This energetic charge indicates spiritual proximity before physical presence. His intuition feels activated, and this activation guides him to stay open and aligned. This feeling becomes stronger as he continues healing and expanding. It prepares him for the arrival of someone who matches his frequency, purpose, and emotional depth. And as this presence becomes more tangible, he experiences the next sign, a phase where opportunities for divine alignment begin showing up with surprising precision. He begins to notice opportunities for divine alignment appearing effortlessly. These moments seem orchestrated with perfect timing, unexpected invitations, shifts in routine, or chances to be in the right place. These openings don't feel forced, they feel guided, and guidance always leads toward love. He may find himself drawn to new environments where aligned energy is present. A cafe, an event, a conversation, each feels purposeful. These moments carry the vibration of possibility. And possibility is the universe's way of inviting him forward. He encounters people who reflect qualities of the love he's attracting: kindness, emotional intelligence, spiritual awareness. These reflections reveal he's tuning in to the frequency of conscious connection. The universe uses other people as mirrors, And these mirrors show that alignment is near. He might feel sudden impulses to go somewhere, change plans, or take a different path. These impulses often lead to synchronistic encounters or meaningful signs. Intuition guides him with precision, and he learns to trust this guidance completely. He finds himself in the right conversations at the right time. Random messages lead to meaningful insights. Unexpected events push him toward growth and alignment. It's as if the universe is arranging the storyline of his love life with intentional grace, and he feels this grace deeply. These opportunities reveal the truth. Alignment is no longer a future possibility. It's happening now. And this shift sets the stage for the next phase, one even more powerful. A moment when emotional preparation turns into emotional certainty. He begins realizing that he has evolved into the version of himself capable of receiving aligned conscious love. This realization comes quietly but confidently. He feels emotionally grounded, spiritually connected, and vibrationally open. It's not just that he desires love, it's that he's ready for it. And readiness is the final key to manifestation. He recognizes how far he has come. The healing, the clarity, the inner work, the expansion. These transformations shape him into a partner who attracts through alignment, not lack. He no longer fears intimacy or vulnerability. He knows his worth, and this self-worth radiates with magnetic power. He becomes more intentional with his boundaries, communication, and emotional presence. These qualities prepare him for a deep, conscious relationship, the kind that aligns with purpose and soul. His energy becomes coherent, balanced, and grounded. And coherence attracts coherence. He stops settling for connections that drain him. Instead, he honors his intuition and emotional needs. This shift reveals his emotional maturity. He is no longer acting from old wounds. He is acting from clarity and intention. And this clarity becomes a magnet for the right person. He begins feeling grateful for the journey that shaped him. Even the painful chapters served a purpose. They prepared his heart for a connection rooted in authenticity and emotional depth. Gratitude amplifies his vibration, and his vibration amplifies his manifestation power. He feels aligned with love, not as a hope, but as a knowing. He trusts the universe, the timing, and his energy. This trust becomes the final energetic bridge. And once the bridge is complete, the right person can finally cross it. And now that all signs have aligned, the journey reaches its final moment, the point where the universe delivers what he is vibrationally ready to receive. He begins to sense the final stage of alignment, the moment when the energetic connection shifts into physical reality. The universe orchestrates this with precision, arranging circumstances that bring two aligned souls together effortlessly. It doesn't feel forced, it feels destined. And destiny has its own perfect rhythm. He finds himself in the right place, at the right time, guided by intuition rather than logic. Conversations flow easily, energy feels familiar, and the connection unfolds with natural harmony. This meeting carries the vibration of recognition. It feels like coming home, and this recognition confirms everything he felt along the journey. The relationship begins unfolding with emotional clarity and mutual resonance. There is no confusion, no push and pull, no fear-driven intensity. Instead, there is peace, authenticity, and flow. The universe only aligns relationships that match this frequency, and his frequency is finally aligned. He feels a deep sense of gratitude for the path that led him here. Every sign, every shift, every moment of growth prepared him for this connection. The emotional previews, synchronicities, and intuitive nudges now make sense. They were all pieces of a divine orchestration, and he is ready to embrace it fully. He realizes that the right person doesn't arrive to complete him, but to expand him. Their energy resonates with his highest self. Their presence enhances his purpose. Their connection reflects emotional maturity and spiritual alignment. And this reflection feels powerful and grounding. This meeting marks not just the beginning of a relationship, but the beginning of a new reality. One shaped by intention, gratitude, intuition, and alignment. And now he understands that the universe had been preparing him for this all along. And with the signs complete, one question remains. What will he choose to create from this new chapter of aligned love? If you felt any of these signs unfolding in your life, then the universe is already communicating with you, guiding you, preparing you, aligning you with a love that matches your frequency. But alignment only becomes real when you act on it. So ask yourself, are you willing to trust the timing, follow the signs, and step into the version of yourself who's truly ready for this connection? Because love doesn't arrive through force, it arrives through resonance, through your vibration, through the way you show up for yourself emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. And the moment you embrace that truth, everything changes. The universe meets you exactly where you are and expands everything you're ready to receive. So take these signs as an invitation to awaken your heart, elevate your mindset, and align your energy with the reality you desire. You're not reading this by accident. There's a reason your soul was guided here. A reason these words resonated. A reason you felt something. If you're ready to create your new chapter with awareness, intention, and alignment, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn on notifications. There's so much more for us to explore together, and I don't want you to miss the next steps on this journey. Are you ready to manifest the love that's already aligning with you?